afternoon to you and welcome to NTV at 1 this Saturday, the 11th day of November 2023. I'm Mildred Pedun with the headlines. Hundreds of families are left homeless as the heavy rains continue to wreak havoc in Masindi, with the river Kafu bursting its banks. Also coming up, Kenya and Uganda join hands to construct a dual carriage roads along the northern corridor route of Busia and Malaba borders. And the Gabonese junta welcomes an African Development Bank decision lifting financial sanctions imposed following an August coup. Welcome once again. This is NTV at 1. Now, thousands of people from 5 villages in Kimengo Sub-County, Masindi District, have been displaced after water submerged their homes after River Kafu burst its banks. The affected are Kimengo, Mieba, Kayera, Kafu, Kayebe, and Kibanja, where houses, livestock, crops were destroyed, forcing residents to camp out of the sub-county headquarters. Now, religious institutions and schools for shelter. Masindi District Chairman Cosmas Byaruhanga speaks of the magnitude of the disaster, saying the district does not have enough resources to respond to it.
I'm at Kimengo Sub-County. We have come to assess the situation in Kimengo upon receiving reports that there are floods which have affected our people in Kimengo. And a number of property have been destroyed, including livestock and the number of crops which
we are seeing great loss of the people at household level, at district level, and the entire country will have lost a lot. Because here we are seeing more than 1,000 acres of maize destroyed and many other animals, and this is a very great loss to the people. And we are worried because the water is threatening to cut off Masindi from Kampala, and actually even the north, the entire north and Sudan is likely to be cut off. That's why we are calling upon the Office of the Prime Minister to come and intervene with the national team to do their national assessment. We see how we can help and handle this emergency, because this disaster is the first of its kind. This time we are experiencing big volumes of water from River Kafu.
Now, the Minister for East African Affairs, Rebecca Kadaga, has joined her Kenyan counterpart, Penina Malonza, and have signed a memorandum of understanding to undertake the construction of dual carriage roads along the northern corridor route of Busia and Malaba borders. The roads are intended to ease trade through 2 border crossing points in Mulwanda in Lumino Sub-County and Buteba in Buteba Sub-County in Busia District. The move will also address the challenges of congestion, which has been an impediment to speedy movement of goods and services in the region.
Asanteni sana.
Because that is has an impact on the customs union and the common market protocol, which is guarantees the freedom of movement of capital, goods and services. So I wanted to see how much better we can do it for our people on both sides. We also wanted to understand the issue of the private sector. How do our regulations and policies impact them here on the ground? So we are listening to them. For instance, the governor of Busia District, Uganda, says for a long time he has been wanting to have 2 additional border posts because of the congestion at Maraba and Busia. So we have taken a decision how to handle that so that we can make it easier for people to move on both sides to trade and do their work. Similarly, on the lakes, we need to harmonize the naval policies for the utilization of the waters. So these are some areas, both as bilateral, but also at the EAC level.
Planning together as two countries, especially on the area of infrastructure, so that when we do a dual carriage on the side of Kenya, Uganda also does the same, and we make it faster for the goods to transition. The other common agenda that has come for both of us, even though it's more on the Kenyan side, is the common market that we want to build here in Busia, the the Jumuiya market, and therefore we will be progressing to discuss that with the county government of Busia, because the land has issues, and therefore we will discuss that. And both countries have agreed this is a very bright idea.
You realize we have a lot of pressure on the one international highway we have from Mombasa to Kampala. There is a lot of traffic, heavy trucks. There is also public transport there. Then there is also a lot of trade that is taking place. So this pressure has made the traffic to move very slowly, and this has added on the costs of doing business. So if new borders are going to be open, it is going to ease pressure. Goods will move very fast, people will move very fast, public transport will be very fast, and then business is going to be boosted.
Now, the International Energy Agency has tasked government to regulate the sale of substandard renewable energy gadgets like solar panels, which are already on the market. Serene El Abed of the International Energy Agency made the call during the launch of an in-depth report that looked at the different energy sectors to accelerate renewable energy use. As Sudirio Hanga reports that Uganda will be one of the first countries in Africa to come up with an energy transition plan to decarbonize the country, grappling with high levels of pollution.
Energy sector experts and government partners converged in Kampala to launch the in-depth review report on renewable energy. The review process, which has taken over 1 year, looked at the country's starting point and the current situation analysis, which mirrored projections in line with the policies and country's vision 2040. This is the Ministry of Energy's plan.
To increase proportion of the population with access to electricity from 24% in financial year 2018-2019 to 60% in 2025. 2, increase the share of the energy of the clean energy used for cooking from 15% in financial year 2018-2019 to 50% in 2025. Thirdly, increase energy generation.
As the country scales up accessibility to renewable energy, the majority of the population is increasingly depending on biomass fuel. In line, the International Energy Agency recommended some of the areas that the country needs to urgently tackle.
We recommended in our analysis for the government to as strengthening and enforcing quality standards for renewable energy systems, notably standalone solar PV, with in-country testing whenever it is possible, and also supported by public awareness campaigns. The rapid increase in power generation has not been sufficiently coordinated with investment in transmission and distribution. As a result, as we just saw, there is a significant amount of power.
Sidronius Okasi Opolot is the State Minister of Energy.
Before these things are brought in, they must be checked from the countries of origin. And even we know where they make good quality things. And then when we bring them, it is also checked by U-boats to ensure qualities.
The issue of affordability is one area that was looked at in the review.
The broad solution lies in the ability to ensure the energy is able to reach the final consumer, be it a household, be it an industrial, be it a productive use of energy. Once you grow that, then you have grown the demand. And once you grow the demand, the average economies of scale will spread across.
The experts and partners made the following recommendations.
Energy literacy remains a very key gap that universities need to do research, innovation, and also professionalization.
Planning needs to be realistic. And this means that it can't be a wish list, a political wish list of what you want to achieve. It must be based on reality, because if it's not realistic, then it will not be able to inform investment.
The Ministry of Energy has revealed that the energy transition plan will be launched during the COP28, and this will spell out the short, medium renewable energy plan that the country has, and which will factor in issues of affordability, accessibility, and also efficiency. But all this will come at a cost, and that will also be revealed during that launch. Sudhir Biaruhanga, NTV.
Well, thank you, Sudhir Biaruhanga. Now, crossing over to Alebtong district, the agriculture officer there, Moses Ogwal, is calling for increased investment in modernizing agriculture to move the community there away from subsistence farming to a more sustainable approach. Alebtong accounts for about 250,000 people, most of whom are farmers, with less than 5% invested in trade or commercial farming.
We have less than even 5% of farmers who are engaged in commercial agriculture. Commercial agriculture in a sense that they are engaged in rearing of livestock, the goats, the cattle. They also engage in piggery, engage in fish farming, and also they are engaged in poultry rearing. The rest are smallholder farmers who face a lot of challenges in terms of challenges with weather, with prolonged dry period. Prolonged dry period in the sense that these farmers are unable to produce effectively because of challenges to do with the weather. At times they plant and the sunshine comes and destroy their crop. As a district, our district normally suffers period of food insecurity starting from as early as April, May, June, and partly July. These are periods that these farmers or these households normally suffer so much from issues of food insecurity. I believe this tractor will help support the farmers to prepare their land early enough before the rain, so that as soon as rain comes, we shall be able now to be planting. But if it's accompanied with a plant, then automatically we shall address two problems in terms of covering the land area that needs to be open, and also addressing the issue of plant population or the plant density in an acre. And when these two are together, then the thing will be of high benefit. If we increase on the plant population and the acreage, it means our production level will go up in terms of production and productivity. If productivity goes up, we shall improve also on food security of our people.
Now, Amuria district residents have accused the Uganda police and judiciary of being the most corrupt institutions in the district. The residents expressed their grievances during a public baraza organized by the Office of the Inspectorate of Government at Amuria Town Council. Presenting residents accused the police of extortion, sitting on their case files without presenting them to court, and connivance by the judicial officers causing delays in some cases. The residents also tasked the IGG to investigate the State House education scheme.
A sniper dog was brought from Soroti. The suspects were arrested. They were taken to police before I was discharged from the hospital, where I was admitted after those injuries. 2 days, the suspects were released.
Government land is going. And I've never seen a case being won by so-called solicitors. There is a lot of compromise, conniving there.
We don't win cases. They say there's money in the government and it is for eating. So I want you to pick up this. Our thinking as a district, possibly I am going to take it to council. I don't know whether it will be okay. That as a district, to identify a private lawyer that will be helping us in standing for us in court.
We, as the local people in Amuria, we hear sometimes, for example, when a child sits here in Amuria and gets the points which can qualify him to get a state we really don't hear about that one.
I thank those who have taken the time and given us documents and files. Thank you. Some of you have taken time and put your issues in that box. We take our work very seriously. We are going to take the issues you put there, the issues you have raised here. We are going to go back to Kampala and sit down and process them in detail. Now, going forward, the most important task is prevention through saying no, no, no to corruption.
Junior Achievement Uganda, a non-profit organization, has rewarded several young people with intensive training on how to leverage their skills to develop small businesses that will take them out of the unemployment bracket. The move is a social impact project aimed at equipping young Ugandans between 16 to 24 years with skills needed to start and run a business. Participants undertook a project of their own choice for which they were rewarded.
We are hosting our social equity project pitch that involves young people who have been participating. We started off in February with them doing boot camps, and under those boot camps, we train them in different business components to learn and ideate and innovate for their communities. So we're able to shortlist 10 winning teams that are to participate, and we pick a winner who is going to be representing Uganda in the pitch for Junior Achievement Africa.
I came with a group, Kasasiro Bugaga, with a business proposal of turning waste into use. What we are solving basically, we are fighting environmental degradation, also poor sanitation in our communities. Our product that we're making are the briquettes. These briquettes are a substitute for charcoal, so basically we'll be preventing environmental degradation. What I've learned from this boot camp and this pitching, we have gotten business ideas. Our minds have been sharpened to think like real businessmen.
We now take a break, but Interview at 1 continues shortly.
Grace event wangini bekeluiwa the Ugandan love song beautiful utote Spicy Diana
Yadoni na banjibo loveo city regular Pakwachi what's good is Spice Diana, your beautiful star girl. On the 1st December, I'm with you guys. It's gonna be amazing. Global Village Resort. Come and have a good time with Spice Diana.
Spice Diana bipia iwangdano mi Pakwachi Ishenkasa Beach Nina Shell Bimira Parario 2023 a Global Village Resort Pakwachi. Awia mipacho mabigo karibu ni Spice utie Shali Pro ku small rapper Modigang utie single for parkende VIP utie single pira beach Mesa bitana ngwenu utie baby single for dakario kende Warning kajumi kibe kwalu ankang Gundu biyui ethogi bikia wabora Shalo dhongati mupenjunia utundu Okalu angdano biberu Jabba Walkers ku High Swag Pakwachi MC Kenzo, MC Khalifa, MC Prudi, Remage Goyo Korgi, Iwech Merebu Kindano, Jamcheng Muchwako Yoma Eni Aikoni Bang, Uyoma Gerald Stores, Abira Traders, Pakwachi FM, Man, Jomu Kelewatie, Grace Events, Afaro.
Ibagia, echatanuni mwagia.
Do you feel me now?
I feel you feel joy.
Like it joy again.
Spice Diana.
Babuda bugenze akasera maze kanti wanoganize obana nigenze nayo mukwano go munaze kuneze oli chimuli oli wandala nyonyo
best friend ni wange
oli wandala
oh best friend ni wange
oli wandala nyonyo
kona watu katundi musonda nachira lunyole senda unyoyolimba ratchet buckets of roses apereza rukundati I love the way he do that thing nafunyono mulungi anyumire suti ataze nyumira your body oh I know you belong to me we know sheshe si chali single balabala
Now in a new bottle with the same taste and same positive energy. Available in a 320 ml PET bottle. Rock Boom. Feel the positive energy.
Welcome back. Glad to know you're still with us. You're still watching NTV at 1. Now, the Gabonese junta welcomes an African Development Bank decision lifting financial sanctions imposed following an August coup. Now, details follow in a summary of news from around the world. Kenyan self-proclaimed pastor Paul Nthege Mackenzie, who is accused of leading a cult and being responsible for the death of more than 400 people, has been found guilty on separate charges. A court in the coastal town of Malindi convicted him of illegally operating a film studio associated with his preaching and distributing films without a valid filming license. Some of his summons are still available online. However, the magistrate acquitted him of the offense of inciting children against attending school. Mackenzie could face imprisonment of up to 5 years or pay a fine. Sentencing has been scheduled for next month. Mackenzie has not been formally charged in relation to the death of hundreds of his alleged followers, despite being in custody since April. Elsewhere, the Gabonese government has welcomed a decision by the African Development Bank, AFDB, lifting financial sanctions imposed on the country following the removal of President Ali Bongo in a coup in August. Gabon's strongman, General Brice Oligui Nguema, took over power from Bongo in August, and since then, separate rounds of talks have been held in Morocco and the Republic of Congo to restore financial parity in the country. The AFDB becomes the first international institution to lift sanctions on Gabon since the coup just over 2 months ago. The AFDB's decision to lift the sanctions also followed Gabon's move to restore confidence by clearing its arrears to the Continental Financial Institution at the end of October. Consequently, the move paves the way for Gabon to continue benefiting from AFDB loans and grants for its projects. And finally, Israel faced growing calls on Saturday to protect civilians in Gaza as its battle with Hamas encircled the territory's main hospital, where an aid agency described the situation as catastrophic. Heavy fighting between Hamas and Israel forces has raged near Gaza's biggest hospital, Al-Shifa, stretching the area's already crippled health system. The Hamas government and the hospital's director said a strike on key health facility on Friday killed 13 people. They accused Israel of being responsible, a claim that was impossible to verify. Aid agency Doctors Without Borders said it was extremely concerned about the safety of patients and medical staff at Al-Shifa Hospital. Maher Sharif, a nurse heading to the Al-Shifa Hospital when it was struck on Friday, described how people threw themselves to the ground. Finally, in football, KCCA Football Club registered their first leg win of the season after 7 matches when they defeated defending champions Vipers Sports Club by 3-1 at the MTN Phil Omondi Stadium in Lugogo. Now, the win for the KCCA lifts them into 14th place on the table with 4 points as they hope to rejuvenate their season. On the other hand, Vipers remained in 3rd place with 14 points, 4 behind the log leaders, Bull FC. Take a look.
The chance comes up, but Kassisi draw first blood.
Was fumbling and gifting Vipers a goal very early, and then the ball shifts to one side, and Haruna is the one that sets it up. Very interesting.
Well, a chance into the box area once again. Kassisi battling for the ball that crossed the line. Referee Asadu Semera seems to think otherwise. The assistant referee seems to think Timothy Kubisin is a match it clear. It went into the back of the net.
Exactly what that ball was.
A slip up, a tap in, that ball. Ooh, well, that is going up to play. Etienne still holding possession. Etienne fouled here by Rodriguez. And now a chance here. Kassisi still on the attack. Opportunity to make it 3. Well, if ever you've needed an explanation for why the saying
be very careful when you face a corner dog as a chance comes up here. Lawal strikes back one. The clean sheet will not be one taken home.
And that's it for NTV at 1 this afternoon. Thank you for watching. Mildred Bedun Exposed is coming up next.